Hello, happy Friday. How are you? I am coming to you just for a little bit to wrap up our alignment series. We have been on the path to unlocking our aligned selves. This is day four, our wrap-up day so far. We talked about self-discovery, those red threads, those moments that light us up, that give us great sense of purpose, that fill us with joy, what they might look like, and how um, tracking or making a list of 10 of those and then looking at all the commonalities between them can help us know what it is that we truly need or desire to be aligned, to feel our sense of purpose, to feel lit up, to feel that joy so that we can start bringing more of it into our lives and fill our lives with more joy. On day two, we talked about self-doubt and limiting beliefs and how they can get in the way of us feeling aligned and being aligned. Obviously, I shared with you a flow to walk through so that you can shift your limiting belief. And then yesterday, we talked about giving ourselves permission to actually take on this work, to pursue joy, to feel joy, to make time for joy, and all the things that get in our way, all the thoughts again, that kind of get in our way. And we practice using that flow again to shift those beliefs so that we can actually enroll ourselves and feel empowered to give ourselves permission to pursue joy. And today, I want to close out by acknowledging you and your progress and your work and everything that you have listened to, whatever it is that you have absorbed, even if you haven't taken on the homework or the exercises or invitations yet. I truly believe that we take what we're meant to take and we leave what we're not ready to take yet. So whatever it is that you were meant to take, I know that you are getting it, and I know that that's enough for now. And I would love for you to know that it's enough for now as well. I want to remind you as we jump into this topic of breaking things down that when we're doing all this work, we're really going, especially if you're my people, right? Because then you're of a certain age and we're going to be undoing 30 to 40 or more years of stuff. We're going to be unpacking it and looking at it. And so it's not going to happen overnight. And that's why I really wanted to talk to you and make sure you're aware of my Rebecca-ism of breaking it down into the smallest step possible. So, right, if I was working with my clients on this, when I'm doing anything like this for myself, I create a project plan, a roadmap of how I'm going to go about doing this. And each step at a time, what are the different milestones? And then what do I have to take on to get to the first milestone so that I don't get overwhelmed? If I don't have a plan to move forward, then it feels like, oh my God, I need 10 moments of joy and purpose. How am I ever going to find those? It doesn't feel like, I'm going to find them. And how am I going to keep track of them so that I don't forget them or lose them? Right. And I get into all the nitty gritty about it rather than just being present and keeping my eyes open for that first moment that will come to be. And in looking for your red threads, that's where I would encourage you to go first in step one is just to be aware and be on the lookout for your first red thread, your first experience of getting lost or joy or purpose or really being excited about something. Then when you have that, you can move on to the second one. Then you can move on to the third. Then when you have 10 or you've been doing it for 2 weeks or a month or however you choose to go about it, then you can go back through and say, okay, now I can look for commonalities and patterns. And that's a whole separate step that you can then take on. And then we look at, okay, what might be activities that would bring these moments, these experiences that I desire into my life? And then how do I bring it into it? How do I make time for it? What might I have to give up? What might I have to say no to? What might I have to delegate? But don't think about those questions now because that's 5 steps down the road. And if you're one of my people, this is why this really matters. If you're one of my people, you can see 10 steps ahead. It's a superpower. You can absolutely see the way things are going to go and how they're going to end up and what is going to be possible. And it's fabulous. It serves you, especially in your day job, probably. And because of that, it can keep us from actually moving forward because we're trying to play out all the things that might happen and all the ways it might go. And if we change this, then that might happen. We're worried about 10 steps from now versus just focusing on the one step in front of us. What is it, the one thing we need to do? I always use the example of making a hair appointment. So in New Jersey, it was easy. I had the same hairdresser for 30 odd years because she was so great. I'd try someone else, but I'd always go back to her. She'd always fix me. But now that I'm in California, making a hair appointment it's not a difficult task, but it's not a straightforward task. It's not a direct task. I actually don't know how long it's even going to take because I need to Google salons. I need to read the reviews. I then need to look at the stylists at the salon that I've now chosen. Then I need to get the phone number and then I can call. If I don't know that those are individual steps I need to take, I'm not going to take on that work because I'm not going to know how long it's going to take. And I'm not going to know which steps I can cross off one at a time. If I know that, okay, I need to spend time Googling and finding like 5 salons, right? That should be a good start. Then I know, okay, I have 15 minutes now, I have 30 minutes now. I can go, I can Google salons, I can make the list of 5. And then the next time I have 30 minutes or I have 15 minutes, I can go through and read the reviews and eliminate the ones that suck or people have bad experiences at, or circle the ones that people think really highly of. Then I can go into the salon and I can look at the stylists and see which one works on crazy hair, right? Which one works on thick, wavy-ish, curly hair that might be able to best cut my hair. Then I can take down the phone number and make the call. And that's how I can move forward. It's the same thing with what we're doing here with shifting our self-doubt and our shifting our limiting beliefs and giving ourselves permission to pursue joy and looking for the red threads. It could be this massive project. It is a massive project. It's a life-changing project. I promise you, it is a life-changing project. You need a project plan. You need to take it step by step. You can always go faster. You can always sit down and do 3 steps if you can, but you want to break it down. I think about like when we're walking, we have a natural gait and a natural comfortable gait that we move at with 1 step at a time. We could take bigger steps, but we're not going to be able to pursue that for very long, right? We're going to become unbalanced and probably fall or have to go back to our natural gait. We can always take smaller steps. Smaller steps often work. So in your project planning and in your taking on looking for red threads, how do you find that smallest step that you can take? I always tell my clients and I tell, anybody that will listen that if you have a task that you're meant to do, a step of your project plan, and you don't look at it and say, that shouldn't even count as a step. It's so small, it should not count. I shouldn't get any credit for doing that. It's so small. If you don't think that, you have not broken down your steps far enough. And you will procrastinate or it will take you longer to take them on. This is about building momentum. This is about moving us forward. Again, right? Especially in this work of finding our joy, of finding our aligned self, of finding what lights us up. We're undoing decades of beliefs, decades of norms, decades of behaviors. It isn't going to happen overnight, and we have to be where we are. We cannot look at Jane over there and what she's doing and think that's going to work with us because she might be 5 steps ahead of us or 3 steps behind us. We have to be where we are. We have to know what the next step is, what the current step is, and just take it one at a time. And if you do that, you will make progress. You will find your red threads and you will find the commonalities, and then you will be able to bring them into your life. And again, if you're one of my people, I know you're thinking, well, I want it now. I want the change now. I know it's not right, so I want it to change now. I get it. I totally get it. But I promise you, the more you try to skip steps, the more steps you'll have to take backwards, the longer it will take. So you want to keep moving forward, keep moving at these, not even slow steps, but baby steps, one at a time. Just focus on what's in front of you. And you will learn and grow, and you'll be able to build more momentum or take different steps as you get more comfortable, as you get into this work, right? The first belief that you have might be really hard to shift. You might be like, I cannot buy into any of these empowered thoughts I'm trying to think. I'm not really believing them, right? They're just layered on top of my disbelief. It's going to take you a while to get through that first belief and shift it. But the harder it is to shift, the deeper it goes and the bigger the gold at the end, right? So you're going to be unraveling. And then the next time you go to the second limiting belief that you find that you're working through and trying to shift, it will go faster probably. It may not be lightning fast yet, but it will go faster because you're learning every time you're doing it. All right, that's what I wanted to cover today. I know it's Friday and people have things to do and the whole nine. I really, again, want to thank you for being in this, for taking on this work. This is meaningful work. I do believe that it's life-changing, and more than that, I believe that it's world-changing because I feel and believe that the more of us that show up as our best selves, the better the world is, that there's less tension, there's less anxiety, there's less hate in the world when we're showing up as our best and brightest and truest and most aligned selves. So even if you came to these and you're like, I don't know that I can take those exercises on, they feel big, that's okay. I believe that you have taken what you are meant to take and you will leave what you are not meant to take yet. And we have no idea how it's going to impact you. Maybe you'll just start noticing other people's joy. That would be a breakthrough. Any noticing of joy can be a breakthrough. It was a breakthrough for me. And so accept where you are and accept what you've taken from this and accept what you're choosing to take on or not take on and move and keep moving forward. Thank you very much. I hope this was helpful. I would love to hear what was helpful if something was. And obviously, if you need anything, I am here. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. I will talk to you soon. Bye.